So my dad is a die-hard Defender fan. He's got a 1997 long wheelbase, and to him, well, there's no car better in the world. I think he loves that car far more than he loves us or anything else, actually. And he sort of will defend it to the bitter end. If anybody's ever got something bad to say about Land Rover or that they're unreliable, anything like that, he gets his back up. It's a huge argument, so no one discusses his car with him ever. So it was interesting when I brought him the Defender 90. I mean, he'd seen the 110 that I had as well, but the 90 I pulled up next to him. And by default, he loves it because it's Land Rover and it's a Defender. But then after a while, you can see the mind start ticking. He starts looking, he's like, oh, isn't this beautiful? And he's like, whatever. And then his Defender's on the other side. And he's like, but now, and the technology always gets attacked first. But now, if you've got all this shit in you in the middle of nowhere and it breaks, what the is going to happen? Whatever. And I was like, Dad, I get it. Like, Defender fans, like diehard fans, aren't so keen on this new tech craze. You know, they want the old school that they know. It's kind of like music. Okay, so my dad will fight to the death that he was a DJ. He will tell you that there's no music that's ever greater than like sort of 50s, 60s, 70s. There's like the music now on the radio, it's not music. You know, he's one of those. You know them. I'm sure your parents are like that, or you know parents who are like that. And again, it's that thing, I always have the argument with him. My husband's in the music industry now, and every generation has their greats. All of them do. You might not think it, you might not believe it, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Okay, it's an opinion thing. The same thing with the Defender. This, I think, unlike the 110, I think that Land Rover has done the best they could have done, and in fact, they've done an amazing job at making this incredible, even with all the tech and everything, but it looks gorgeous. It is beautiful, exterior, interior, the feeling, the plushness, the materials, the refinement, the comfort, everything. They have nailed it. Okay, so I'm in the X Dynamic HSC. It's the D300. So you've got four engines to choose from, 2 petrol, 2 diesel. This one is the 3-litre turbo diesel. You get 221 kilowatts of power, 650 newton meters of torque. And it is punchy and refined. I love that the gearbox is basically nothing to me. I don't have to know about it. It does what it needs to do behind the scenes, and I just get to have a lovely drive. Now, bearing in mind, this model that I've got has been ramped up with some extras. So it's got a beautiful air suspension, so the ride is lovely and plush and beautiful. And it's got a whole bunch of packs on. I mean, I can't remember all the names. There's tiny little gripes for me, and I'm going to come in from a practical point of view. This car, there is no doubt it's capable off-road. It does everything it needs to do. It does everything a Defender should do, right? But now, I see a few of these around where I live, okay? A couple of the mums in it leisure wear and stuff. Okay, not dissing them because I actually often wear leisure wear. But anyways, this is not a particularly practical car, okay, for a family. Now, if you have the 110, sure. Love it. Okay, but this 90. Now, to get into this back here with Luca, and or Archie for that matter, to try and put him in his dog seat, is downright possible without breaking something on yourself, pulling something like a ligament or a hamstring. But getting out is even worse. Well, I have nearly seen myself arse over kettle out with Luca. So that's not a vibe. The boot door is so heavy, and I live on a hill. So when the car is this way, and I've got to push that thing up to 2 hands and hoy it to try and close it. And then on top of that, there's just all boot space. You know, if you put those seats down and everything, then cool for you, whatever, but that's not, you know, what it should be doing. So those are some tiny things I'm allowed to. This is my review. I'm going to tell you what it's like for me to live with. You can watch the reviews from other diehard off-roading fans and get all the information you want to there, okay? I don't live off-road. I don't even particularly love it that much. I don't mind it. If I'm in this, love it. Okay, obviously. No, you'll just have to wait. Ah! Okay. She said love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. So the price comes in at just over 1.36 million rand for this model as standard. this unit is sitting at over 1.5 million. It's a lot of money, but you're getting a very premium, very capable, very comfortable, beautiful car. I love the look of it. I think the only thing I don't love with the pack, so you get these signature graphics on either side of these back windows, which look amazing from the outside, and they work on the 110. Again, doesn't work on the 190. It blocks that whole window. So not only if you've got a kid in the back, well, they can't see anything, so they don't love it. Then they start crying and they want your attention. But also, when now I'm trying to look out that window if I'm reversing, yes, I know there's 1,000 cameras and I could use those, but oh my word, can't see a darn thing. Not a bloody tizzle of anything. I love like the screen and everything. I must be honest, it's a lot. Like I get I've confused myself. Just got to get more familiar with it. But like, I don't think there's anything you can sort of critique about a Defender nowadays. I mean, my dad's one. I mean, it has been in the shop, I think, more times than it's been in his driveway. Yet, he is like, it is the best car in the whole world. It's quite confusing. But, I fucking love this car. And I wish that, like if you don't have kids and you don't need to use those back seats and get in and out of it and all that jazz, then it's superb. But I would rather have the 110. Practical Pam over here. I have a point that I forgot to mention. Okay. Shh. Oh gosh, you got to wheel that thing quite a few times to get the volume down. It's probably an easy way of doing it, but the actual volume knob. Yes, Land Rover with a knob. Anyway, there is something that one needs to consider in a car like this, where my dad's not wrong with the tech and. Okay, so I have the little guy up here with a one on. I pressed on it and it says software update, up to date and. So you need to check that. Well, or you'll be warned or whatever. But the software does update like a cell phone, and then the car is not in use. Okay, so that for me would probably give me a little bit of anxiety. I'm like that with my phone. I'm like that with like an electric vehicle. I'm just like, I don't know, like I will obsess about it to make sure that I'm now not somewhere and I'm about to get into going and rush and the car's like, sorry for you, I need to do an update and you didn't do it on time or something. So just something to bear in mind. Woo! Say free love.